Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and I wanted to give you a quick little video about the difference that you're going to see in LDM 100 or Lomatium in the final tinctured product, because this is something that we've been getting for years and years and years. In fact, I remember when I was a teenager and my dad started making LDM 100, this was one of the things that caused him a little bit of stress over the years, and as I was through my 20s and 30s until he passed away, this was something that he always dealt with, and that is the color difference and the taste difference of Lomatium when it's in a tincture form. And this is something we put information out about, we talk to you about, we get emails about it, especially when we make a new batch. Sometimes we get all this feedback like it looks different, it tastes different, it just doesn't taste good, or I like it better, or we have gotten the whole gamut of everything. So what I wanted to do is give you a quick little bit of information that can empower you to be very confident when you're getting LDM 100 or Lomatium tincture, especially from us. Now, I don't know about any other companies, but when you're getting a Lomatium tincture from us, first of all, I hope you know that this is our own wild crafted Lomatium. So we know that it's Lomatium, and we also know that they come from different parts of a hillside, and in one place might get more sunshine, it might get more rain, and it just might get different things in the soil. But it is Lomatium dissectum, and the variation is multifida. So what I did is I got several little bottles here. Now this is our newest batch that just came out in April of 2020 or 2020. So it depends on when you're, so 2020, when you're watching this. But this one is kind of a medium color. You see that's kind of a little bit golden. It's beautiful. This is extracted in organic cane alcohol. In fact, all the ones I'm going to show you today are extracted in organic cane alcohol. This is a nice 4-ounce bottle. This right here, I actually dug into my stash. I was hoping to find a really, really dark color of Lomatium. So I pulled this big bottle out. You can tell by how old this label is. We don't do these labels anymore. This bottle is almost 10 years old. And the cool thing is I don't know if you can see it, but when I went to open the plastic that was on it, the shrink wrap, was really, really hard to get off because it had been sitting there for so long. But the nice thing is there has been zero evaporation through this. And like I said, I pulled this from the back of my cupboard. I keep all my tinctures in a cupboard in my laundry room, and this was tucked in the back, and I was hoping that it was super dark because it's been sitting there for so long, and I was just hoping it was from plants that were darker. But let me show you. So this right here, this is the 4-ounce bottle I just looked at, but if you squeeze some of this up, it's about the same. It looks almost exactly the same. And like I said, I was hoping that I could find a darker tincture for you. And then I pulled out also a 1-ounce bottle here. This is some of our newer stuff also, but this is really, really super light. So look how light this is. Look how light that is. Now that is really light. And what we find is, as modern humans, and I am this way too, because you're used to everything that we get, whether it be, fast food, your Starbucks coffee, whatever it is that we're used to getting, because there's a chemical process way of making everything look the same and taste the same. We're used to that. So when we see something that's natural and made in nature, and there's nothing added to make it look or taste different, we automatically, our eyes see something and our brain thinks that it's something different, or we don't think it tastes as good, or we don't think it's as strong. Like I know people who prefer the light to the dark because they think that they like the taste better. And there is the taste can be different. So here's the way you want to test this, especially if it's a pure concentrated tincture of dried and cured Lomatium. Now, fresh Lomatium is a little bit different. This is actually some of our fresh tincture. We don't sell this, but we just do this because it's a curiosity thing for us. So you can see it's kind of a golden tincture. But this is made from the fresh plants, so before it's been dried and cured. And this is an unlabeled bottle. You can see this is just a nice little empty, like an unlabeled bottle of Lomatium. But here's the test. when you put Lomatium, no matter if it's light, medium, or dark, when you put it into water, and I actually got a little cup of water here, you can see the water in there, the water will turn milky, okay? So I'm going to put some of this super light stuff in there. This is super light. Look at this. When we got this, we just got this big batch from the manufacturer. Part of the bottles were light because we always pull from the different boxes and we look at it, we taste it, because that's what we do. And we opened up a couple of bottles from this one pallet and it was like, oh my goodness, this is so light that it's even lighter. In fact, let me show you the difference. It's even lighter than some of the other ones. So take a look at this. You can kind of see. Look at that. See, this one is a little more golden. Actually, they're both golden, but one is a little darker than the other, right? So as modern humans, that can freak us out. So I would first of all like to give you an absolutely perfect guarantee that if you are not happy with a bottle, you are welcome to send it back to us. And I will give you a full refund. But I also guarantee that what you're getting is 100% wild-crafted Lomatium disectum tincture. So if I were to put this super light one in this water, okay, so you should see how milky this looks now. Look at how milky that water is. Do you see that? That is going to be your indication that you have dried and cured pure tinctured Lomatium disectum. So that is, without spilling it, you can kind of see. So that was the lightest stuff we have. Now, another little tip here, this is what I do. I haven't actually gotten to the point where I prefer to take the alcohol. I dissipate the alcohol out of my tinctures. So what I do is I'll get a cup, and I've been taking it twice a day now since we've had this whole virus swirling around the globe. I actually just do this twice a day. So I'll get my tinctures and I'll put whatever I'm taking that day. I'm doing East Star, and I'm doing the Lung Blend, and I'm doing the LDM 100. And I'm doing those twice a day. So I'll put the drops into an empty cup, and then I'll boil water, and I'll pour the boiling water, about 1/4 of a cup, into the cup with the tinctures at the bottom. And you can right away not only see the steam from the hot water, if you lean your face over close, you can actually smell the alcohol dissipating off. So I'll do some in the morning, and then I'll let it sit all day until it's evening or right after dinner, and then I'll drink it. And there will be no alcohol in it, and the water will be cold at that point. And then what I'll also do is I'll start another one. I'll put the drops in, I'll pour the boiling water, and then I'll let that one sit overnight, and that will be my morning dose. So you can do this any way you like. Even sitting it in water, doesn't have to be boiling water, will actually dissipate the alcohol out if it's exposed to air. So this is a really, really nice way to dissipate the alcohol out and make sure that if that's something that's important to you. And I just personally, because I'm taking more than I typically take, I'm actually dissipating the alcohol out, which is awesome. So if you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to let me know. I know that the taste and the color has been something that has been, it's actually a bit of a stressor because it is stressful to have people think we're making something that's diluted down, or we rushed it through manufacturing, and we don't rush it. In fact, you might know, and I've told many of you this, and I've sent emails about it, that when we take our own dried and cured Lomatium to the manufacturer, and we take this kind of in batches, and they're stored in barrels and they're double bagged, it is tested. So every single herb that comes into the facility, not just the Lomatium, any of the herbs that come into the facility where we actually have these things made, is put through a very comprehensive lab test, not only to test for correct species of plant, because there are other species of Lomatium besides the Lomatium disectum multifida, which is what we use, but there's also different microbes that might be on a plant. There might be mold, there might be a fungus, there might be some types of bacteria. Now, the nice thing about a tincture is when you put it in the alcohol, it kills pretty much anything, mold or bacteria. So the alcohol not only pulls all the properties of the plant out, it actually acts as, it takes the bad stuff and it makes it go away. And then at the end, after it's been extracted and it's been filtered and then bottled, it goes again to the lab and it gets a full lab markup again. So it gets tested. In fact, if we have tinctures with multiple plants in it, then what you're getting in the lab test is you're getting that all the things that we say are in it are in it. So if you get the lung blend with 7 herbs in it, we get a certificate of analysis, which you can ask us this for any of the products we make. You can ask us to send you a copy of our certificate of analysis for any of the products. We get this done on every single batch that's made. So please know that this is something that's so important to us. The purity and the quality is something that I personally would not give anything to my family that I wouldn't give to you. So to me, this is extremely important. So the testing is very comprehensive, and we're also now doing heavy metal testing. So if you have a tincture, please know that you're almost getting 0.0012 whatever of heavy metals, because where you're going to get more metals that you want to test for is in the capsule products. So the tinctures almost have 0 heavy metals, but that is also on the certificate of analysis. So we're now doing heavy metal testing. Okay, so I could talk for a while, obviously. I wanted to mostly just give you this little bit of information about color, taste, testing, and if you really want to do the test, no matter how light or how dark your LDM tincture is, put it in a little bit of water. If it turns milky, then you've got the real stuff. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you get to the end of this, and I will talk to you soon.